Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
As the COVID-19 pandemic continues, mental health concerns grow for many across the nation. Crisis hotlines like First Link are responding to more calls than ever before. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley talked with one expert today who says she believes the current mental health impacts could last for years.
Due to many people's health concerns of coming into a clinic, Prairie St. John says while their current inpatient numbers are down, their outpatient services continue to grow as the COVID-19 pandemic goes on.
From the staff through the patients, the anxieties are increased because there's so much unknown.
Scheffler says the hospital's biggest increase has been with those seeking substance abuse treatment.
It's a time that people haven't experienced before, so we don't have something to relate this to. That's when our brains start getting more and more anxious, trying to put the pieces together. People might have difficulty sleeping, might have increased substance use, increased arguments with family and friends.
Adding those who are most impacted by COVID-19, whether due to finances, employment, health, or family, could continue to deal with the emotional trauma for a long time.
I anticipate for years to come, people will always look back to this time and have a sense of fear at what happened or what could have happened to them.
And if that's the case for you, Scheffler urges you not to fight alone, encouraging you to reach out to friends, family members, and local resources to help you through.
Mental health doesn't take a break, whether a pandemic's happening or not.
In Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
To have a free and confidential assessment done with Prairie St. John's, you can call this phone number, 476-7200. State health officials are confirming 49 new cases of COVID-19 across North Dakota. Cass County has the highest number of confirmed cases, totaling 709. Grand Forks is the second highest with 275 cases. In North Dakota, the total number of positive cases now sits at 1,371. No new deaths are being reported, keeping that total at 31. 601 people have recovered from the virus. You can find a complete breakdown of the numbers at valleynewslive.com and our VNL News app. And across the river, the numbers have now risen to more than 9,000 cases in Minnesota. 786 more COVID cases are being identified, bringing the total to 9,365. 508 people have died, an increase of 23 from the day before. Of those deaths, 407 were living in nursing homes or assisted living facilities. 5,308 are listed as recovered. Today, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz unveiled a new 5-point plan that will provide more support for long-term care facilities. The plan will expand testing for residents and workers, provide testing support and troubleshooting, get facilities needed personal protective equipment, ensure adequate staffing levels, and leverage partnerships. A little breeze on this Thursday, but we're headed toward the weekend, so it's all good, right? Let's check in with Hutch for our first alert forecast. Hey, Hutch.
Hey, our cool stretch of weather does continue, and this morning was a real eye grabber as temperatures dipped down below freezing for many. More cold temperatures on the way. We remain cool in the 40s and low to mid 50s in the far south. All in all, our region is under the gun. We have a low pressure system that's spiraling near Hudson's Bay. When that happens, we get that northerly flow that's going to continue right through our weekend and into next week. So in Fargo tonight, here's what you can plan for. Temperatures slip sliding away into the 40s by late evening. Then after sunset, as the wind dies down, we too will have a chance at seeing near freezing temperatures in the FM area as that cold air dives even further south. Well, it's going to be frigid in the Northern Valley as well. I'll have hour-by-hour details on that, and we're going to look at a chance of ice crystals drifting out of clouds coming for Saturday. We'll talk more about that here in a minute.
Is that called snow by chance?
You said it, not me.
Oh, yeah. Blame it on me. Okay, thanks, Hutch, so much. A 43-year-old man is now in jail following a shooting in Moorhead. Police say Stephen Ward is facing multiple charges after a shooting that happened on April 22nd when officers responded to the 1300 block of 19.5 Street South for a witnessed shooting. The victim and the suspect had fled the scene. The victim was later identified and was found to be uninjured. Ward was taken into custody in Melrose, Minnesota, and is currently being held in the Stearns County Jail. A machete-wielding robbery suspect is now in jail after allegedly punching a Fargo officer in the face. Officials say it happened around 7 last night. When police went to arrest this man, Talon Parisian, they say he was carrying a machete and was ordered to put it down, which he did. But they say he then punched an officer in the face. 2 random people stepped in to help the officer. Police found out later that Parisian was a suspect in a robbery at a nearby store and had allegedly threatened employees with the machete. Police say he is facing multiple charges. Authorities are reminding the public to be safe out on the lakes this weekend after a man was thrown from his boat into the water. It happened yesterday on Lake Ida, north of Alexandria, Minnesota. Authorities say the man's motor handle broke, causing the boat to make a sharp turn and throw the man overboard. Another boater helped the man out of the water and brought him to the shore. The 63-year-old man was then taken to a hospital for hypothermia. He was not wearing a life jacket. A major meat processing plant in Sioux Falls that temporarily shut down due to COVID-19, an outbreak there, reopened today. Smithfield Foods is beginning a phased approach to reopening after receiving confirmation from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention and the U.S. Department of Agriculture that the company is in compliance with both CDC and OSHA guidelines. The plant closed on April 12th after a COVID-19 outbreak sickened hundreds of employees. The company says they plan on being fully operational by late May. This week, you may want to take time to thank the hardworking nurses and healthcare professionals on the front lines. This year, more than ever, the gratitude has magnified for those taking care of patients during the COVID-19 pandemic. Valley News Team's Callie Hubbard talked to a Fargo nurse who's been serving for nearly 3 decades.
Seeing like miraculous recoveries, they always have that positive side of it to look forward to also.
Adrienne Swick is a certified registered nurse anesthetist at a local hospital.
Something that I always knew I wanted to do was be a nurse. Nurses just typically tend to have the personality of being very like giving and empathetic people.
After 26 years, she's still caring, helping, and serving.
Obviously, it's more stressful times right now with the pandemic and everything that's going on. That doesn't change what we're doing. Everybody's still providing like their best patient care.
Adrienne volunteers on worldwide medical mission trips, giving her PTO and time to those who need it most.
For me, it is very rewarding. The people that we provide care to when I've gone on these trips have basically nothing. You know, a lot of them might not even have like a roof. So there's just absolutely no way they'd be able to get medical care. I come back just feeling really refreshed and inspired by how people can get through so much when they actually have so little.
Teaching her daughters what it means to put others first.
I want them to know what it means to, be a compassionate person, the opportunity for them to not only see the world, but just how to grow as a person.
Adding that it feels better to give than to receive. In Fargo, Callie Hubbard, Valley News Live.
If you have a nurse or someone in healthcare who you want to show off, you can download their picture to our Valley News Live news app. The federal government wants the money it sent to dead people returned. In new guidelines released Wednesday, the Internal Revenue Service says people who have died do not qualify for the coronavirus relief payments. The guidelines go on to say a payment made to someone who died before receipt of the payment should be returned to the IRS. It was previously unclear whether family members could keep the money, but the IRS now says the full payment must be returned. Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi says there needs to be a federal standard to handle the reopening of the nation's economy. The Speaker's comments came during her weekly press briefing today at the Capitol. Pelosi said that she anticipates House members returning next week, depending on word from the Sergeant at Arms and the Capitol physician that it's safe to do so. The Speaker also spoke of her concern for the economy and noted that the administration is going against the Affordable Care Act.
Now, mind you, the Affordable Care Act is the law of the land. The executive branch's role is to protect and defend the law of the land, except they are going against the law of the land.
Pelosi says she is hopeful that all House members will be able to return to work next week. The NFL has sent a memo to teams outlining a ticket refund policy should COVID-19 restrictions continue into the fall. The league is set to release the 2020 schedule tonight with a full 17-week season and open stadiums. However, according to a report in the Associated Press, all 32 teams received a letter from Commissioner Roger Goodell with the NFL's plan in case that does not happen. In the letter, Goodell said all clubs will refund or apply the amount paid toward future tickets if games are canceled or pandemic policies won't allow them to attend. Still ahead tonight, the nature of their education has changed drastically since the pandemic hit, and that's not sitting well with some college students.
Between 5 and 6 a.m., we had temperatures in the 20s for many. Another cold night in store as we only got into the 40s and 50s today. We'll have details on your Friday forecast facts next.